What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with another movie review. Today we're going to talk about the animated classic from 1972, directed by Ralph Bakshi. We've got Fritz the Cat. Now, this movie is very important to me and my my upbringing as like a young cartoonist, really wanting to draw all the time, making my little characters and stories and stuff like that. And this was my first exposure to Robert Crumb, who is like one of my top 3 favorite cartoonists slash artists in general. Robert Crumb is like a god to me. And I owe it all to this movie, and I owe it to my dad, because we had watched Heavy Metal, his bootleg copy, dozens of times when I was a kid, and he always talked about Fritz the Cat. And when he said it, I thought he was saying one word, like Fritz the Cat. Fritz the Cat. Like, it was just this weird fucking thing. And I remember I've talked about this story a lot of times. Like, my aunt knew this person that could burn movies. This is one of them. And I remember we watched it, and I was young. Like, this is probably like, I was probably about 9 or 10 when I first seen Fritz the Cat. And I gotta tell you, man, I was blown away I instantly loved it, loved everything about it, loved the crudeness of it, because everything kind of looked, it had like that, before I knew what Robert Crumb look was, it had like that Robert Crumb look. Everything had that sort of interesting, like, not cross-hatching, but just like the lines either going horizontal or vertical as like a form of shading. I fell in love with that kind of thing, and like the watercolor backgrounds. And of course, Fritz was like smoking dope, and you know, he was totally the opposite of any kind of cartoon character that I'd ever seen up to that point, other than Heavy Metal. And I've talked about this story before, but when I was a kid, I showed a buddy Heavy Metal, and everything was all good until it got to, like, you know, the first, I guess, 15 to 20 minutes when Harry Canyon starts banging that girl. And like, it turned into this whole thing. Like, it was like I showed him something that like he wasn't supposed to see. And I remember thinking, like, dude, like, it's just like a movie. Like, it's gonna be over in like 10 seconds. This is a cartoon. Like, it's not, like, I don't get it. Like, don't make me seem like some kind of sick fuck because I'm watching Heavy Metal. You know what I mean? You're gonna go home and watch fucking the most disgusting porn possible on the computer, and you're telling me I'm fucking crazy? Get out of here. But anyways, Fritz the Cat. So if you're interested, I did a video about a year ago showcasing all my Robert Crumb collection. The link to that will be in the description of this video, and you'll be able to check out all that shit. The collection has expanded since then, not by much, maybe like three books tops that are Crumb. And you know, it was, like I said, because of this film that I really started drawing stuff that I wouldn't have probably drawn otherwise. And I still have some of those drawings to this day, and it's cool to go back and look at this shit and just be reminded, like, of one of my first loves, and that is like cartooning. And see, you know, I could say like drawing or painting or being an artist, but like I don't like saying I'm an artist. I prefer saying cartoonist, because, you know, I feel like an artist, and maybe I'm being anal here, and like maybe I could consider myself an artist, but I just feel like that's like a label that someone else has to say for you. You know, it's like, I knew this kid once. This isn't even that long ago, maybe like 5 years ago tops, and he would describe himself as eccentric, like, you know, like a quirky kind of guy. Like, he would say these things about himself. I'm like, dude, like, you don't say that. Like, you don't say, like, that would be like me saying, like, I'm so awesome, you know, I'm so unique, you know, like, you don't do that. You just be you. And then someone might say, hey, this guy's fucking awesome, or hey, this guy's like really, you know, cool fucking artist, whatever it is. But anyways, getting to Fritz the Cat, the movie, because that's what this video is supposed to be about. Love it. I did the drawing like the other night. I was fucking high as a kite, and I just got these markers, a bunch of these Prismacolors and some Copics and stuff. I actually never used them before, and the Prismacolors, man, like the brush pen, it just comes out like almost like a watercolor and a marker. Like, I love it. I fell in love. So I used that for that entire drawing, other than, of course, the pencils and I used the brush pen Micron just to get, you know, the ink down. So I had a lot of fun with that. I actually did a Pink Flamingos one as well. So look out for a future issue of Cinema 187, which you can see right there behind me. There'll be a video talking about that pretty soon. So anyways, some of my favorite moments in this movie. And before I go any further, it's noted that Robert Crumb has a extreme distaste for this film, you know, and that comes with like all the bullshit that came along with the process of making the film. Everybody wanted to have their hands in the pocket. that kind of thing. I can understand, you know, it's one of his creations that they're fucking with, and it's definitely, you know, I could understand. But, you know, at the same time, like, it's not unheard of for original, like, the creators to be unsatisfied with the end product of an adaptation of their work. Like, perfect example, The Shining, you know, directed by Stanley Kubrick, one of the best horror films, period. Stephen King says he wasn't a fan, but then later years he says it's not bad, and it's like, of course it's not bad. Like, I get it, it's your story, but look at it for what it is, you know. I've never really seen a movie go exactly to the source material, other than Clockwork Orange is pretty fucking close. If you've never read Clockwork Orange, highly recommend that. And actually, I think Clockwork Orange is the same year as Fritz the cat, which is interesting. So Fritz is basically this cat. He's like a college student, out and about, trying to impress broads and stuff like that. Of course, he's got his couple of buddies. They play like I don't want to do a whole fucking breakdown of the film. I just want to talk about some of my favorite moments, and those are the moments that I broke down on that sketchbook page I did the other night. So I love everything that has to do with those pig cops. And I used to draw that shit all the fucking time. I draw these little, I used to have a bunch of those drawings. I don't have them anymore. I have like one left. And I really want to recreate that again. I've actually done some spray paint art or graffiti doing those pigs. I didn't film the process of those pigs. It was before I started to film myself. I do have a lot of videos of me doing graffiti. I've retired from graffiti. I no longer am a vandal. I do not condone it. So if anybody wants to see those videos, leave a 666 in the comments of this video and say, yo, let's see that fucking art, bro, or whatever. Let's see your cartooning on the wall. Push my glasses up. But anyways, those pigs are hilarious. I love, like, their banter in front of that door before they break in. He's like, no, you're going to want to use your voice because you got the deeper voice. And, you know, like, all that, like, bumbling idiot cop bullshit that you just want is there in full effect. And, like, the drawings look spot on. Like, I love them. You know, I think that Crumb's, you know, drawings are better than what we get in the cartoon, but you can't, you know, it's hard to match that type of cartooning penmanship, we'll say. So definitely those pig cops, I love them. I love the black crow in the green suit that, like, befriends Fritz in the bar. And there's, like, that scene where he gets into a knife fight with the bartender, but and then he later ends up getting shot to shit. And like, that's where I did the drawing of the pig. The pig is based off when that crow gets shot to shit, because these cops are in, like, this black neighborhood. Fritz is, like, just had sex with this other black crow, and he, like, mid sex, he, like, decides that he wants to start a revolution. And he's like, revolt, revolt, and he, like, gets up on this car. And another thing about this movie that's interesting is, like, the audio recording seems like they just kind of recorded whoever with whatever, because there's a part, he gets up on the car and someone goes, you hear in the background, that's my fucking car. And there's other moments like that throughout the film that I really found interesting. You know, I find gold in the and I wouldn't say crappiness, but just like the low budgetness of it, you know, because this is not a Disney cartoon. This is not a, you know, I would say it's better than a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but it's not no, like, Disney cartoon. But I would take this over anything. The only movie I like more than this one is Heavy Metal. I don't even put Akira ahead of this. I think this is better than Akira. I think Heavy Metal is better than Akira, although I love Akira. And, like, the last scene that I really want to talk about that I got in my mind is the scene with that blue rabbit. That's, like, he's banging, like, this like, I don't know if she's a horse or, like, a hippo chick. And he's, like, hooked on heroin. The heroin's all gone. He hops on his motorcycle and fucks off. And it just, like, looks so badass and cool. And, like, one of my favorite scenes is when the hand, before you even, like, really see the rabbit, like, his hand goes to the doorknob and he's got, like, a skull ring. And, like, he's got, like, pointy, like, demon hands. Like, love that shit, man. And I just love everything about that. They end up going to a graveyard and there's, like, this Grim Reaper character. It's a whole fucking spectacle, this movie. Like, I forgot how much stuff actually happens in this flick. So very good stuff, man. I highly recommend checking out Fritz the Cat. If you've not, there's also a sequel. It's called 9 Lives Like Fritz the Cat. I used to have the burnt copy of it, but I don't know where it went. It pisses me off, but I got this one, so that's cool. I probably got, like, maybe at the most 10 of these burnt ones from my aunt's friend back in the day. Really cool shit. I want to hang on to them because they work great, and you know, she did, like, a legit job. Like, the chick that made these did a legit job. Like, even printed the you know, the thing. So what I think is, I think she went and like rented the movie, or like, I don't know, maybe they downloaded these things. Like the copyright on this is 2001. This is probably like around the time when we got this. So I don't know, man. Bootlegging way back then, like, it's crazy. Definitely a shitty like inkjet cover. You can tell like she printed on the fucking thing beside her. But anyways, I appreciate everybody for watching. This scene on the cover does not happen with Fritz and this girl, and then this pig cop behind. The pig shows up when that pig comes into that room. The room's empty. Like, everyone's partying in this bathtub, just getting fucked up. And when I was watching this with my buddy Mike the other night, there's that scene, or the part when the aardvark comes in, or not the aardvark, but like the owner of that house, and he's like, "We're having a session." Like, I love that. I just love when he says that. We're having a session. Like, well, no shit, man. Anyways, I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments, and stay tuned for future videos. Like I said in the last stream, probably going to be taking a little bit of a break from these movie videos, unless it's stuff like this that I really want to talk about, because I've watched probably like 5 good films I probably could have made videos about, but I want to kind of reserve that for specialty stuff. I don't want to just push out a shitload of vids and have them not really mean anything to me, you know what I mean? So that's why there's this influx of drawing videos and different shit like that. Expect maybe a tour pretty soon. We'll say that, and maybe an art collection tour. And I still have a video. I have like 3 videos I could make at any time, but they're very daunting. The first one, all my non-horror DVDs. Second one, all my books. And then the third one, all my comic books, which is, and then all the fucking VHS tape in my room. Like, it's a nightmare. You know, I'm really trying to downsize, but it's hard because I love everything, and everything appears to love me because I just can't fucking get rid of it. So, again, 666 in the comments. And with that being said, adios.